Welcome, this is Larry making a quick video for learning the process to show off one of my favorite new indicators. This is the VIXfix series or matrix series with VIXfix. There are two similar ones, one with Raphael Valatavala made, very nice one, very clean one, and this one by Expert has one extra feature, and then up top is Joe's very nice bridge bands, very popular with the Hedgeye community. All right, so let's look at this bottom one down here. Basically, what is shown in the histogram is the VIX-FIX, which is a calculation that is like the VIX, but it can be used for any asset and doesn't need any option data. Basically, it's being shown as the negative value here. It's scale. The absolute values don't matter. It goes from 0 to about negative 200 here. And basically, when the bars are blue, that's a high value of volatility, and when they're gray, it's a low value. The colored candlesticks here are basically representing the smooth price action, and they're used to show the trend and the momentum. So above zero is a bullish trend, and below zero is a bearish trend. The green shows that the momentum is increasing, and the red or orange here is showing that the momentum or the trend is decreasing. So over here, for example, it's still in a upward trend over here. However, that trend is starting to turn over or to reverse. Whenever there are pluses here, that's overbought on the CCI indicator, and if it was pluses down here, it would be oversold. Basically, whenever there's a transition from the green to the red, the momentum in the trend is starting to turn over, and it might be a good time to consider selling. Likewise, if you're down in negative price action and it starts to turn up into the green, that might be a good area to make a entry, especially if it is above the zero line. Now you have a new bullish trend. The bridge band shows kind of the expected range or movement. And so what I thought I'd do is to go through some examples here. I'm looking at the NASDAQ index, and let's just go through the beginning of the year and say how we may want to be looking at these combined signals of price trend momentum along with volatility and the bridge bands to make a decision. So in December, we see that the Nasdaq is trending up. We might well be in a bullish position, a long on, and we see that it's near the top of the risk range. However, the trend is positive. The momentum is still pretty positive. So at this point, you'd probably be staying in. And I'll just advance it. I don't even know what's coming up. So let's just see, rather than do one of these. In hindsight, here's what you should have done. All right, so looking forward here, boy, big negative candle down here. The momentum is starting to turn over. It ended up in the middle of the risk ranges, but the trend is still positive. Volatility is not all that high just yet, so I'd probably stay in it. All right, and now the momentum has turned over. It's heading toward the negative trend, but we're at the bottom of the risk range. So again, probably would stay in there. Pops back up. Very nice for us. Okay, getting up to the top, you can see that momentum is starting to head back toward the bullish if it can stay there. And it's kind of wrapping around here. You can tell by the fact that the volatility isn't moving. There's no momentum. You're barely above the trend zero line. So really, it's not going anywhere. But there's no obvious signal to get in or out. All right, as we go here, now we're starting to get positive. It's hitting the top there. Again, the volatility is nice. The momentum is not quite there yet. Let's see what it does. The momentum is building up. That's good. Like that. Let's stay in there. Momentum is continuing to build. Oh, now we got an interesting feature here. The volatility just spiked as we see this big move lower. Um, if a volatility spike is something you think is going to take that further down, you may want to exit or sell some. We've gone all the way from here up to here. Might not be a good time to sell some and see what the volatility does next. And indeed, the volatility continues to stay high. the momentum is turning down, so that was a good move. It's possibly reversing and kind of going back and forth here. Okay, so now we are in a small positive uptrend. Momentum is building. We're not yet at the top of the risk range. Let's stay in there. All right, things are still looking good. All right, now we're starting to get a little bit on the overbought side. The momentum is still turning up, however, and that bar is large, so that's pretty big. So let's keep an eye on it, but stay in for now. Still overbought. Might be a good time. I'd probably sell a little bit here at this point and continue to hold most of it. All right, now it's starting to turn down here, so I'll probably be selling a little bit more at this point. All right, it's kind of going sideways. Oh, I'm glad we sold twice there. It just volatility exploded to quite a high amount. We hit the bottom of the risk range and bounced off that. So the volatility's high. Not going to buy just yet because of that reason. Even though we're at the bottom of risk range, let's see what it does for a day or two. Oh, it goes down considerably further with the bigger volatility. So that's good that we waited. Is it time to get back in yet? No, the momentum is going down. The trend may be reversing, so definitely not a time to be buying the dip just yet. All right, it did come back up. Still could go either way. The volatility is kind of high. However, it did decrease from yesterday. So if you're aggressive, you could buy a little bit more here. I'd probably go one more day. And good reason, because the trend was still heading down, momentum loss. So volatility is still spiking high. I'm not buying this dip either. In fact, on the bridge band, you see that the trend may in fact be turning negative. So we're staying out for now. All right, volatility has decreased a little bit. We're still not out of that negative trend yet. Probably still wait just a little bit more. Back there's another green day, and yep, that's why you don't want to jump back in too quickly. So the volatility is increasing even further. Definitely don't want to be jumping in at this point. If you're aggressive, you could buy a little bit. I wouldn't be looking to do that here. Right now, it wicks all the way down to the right at the bottom of the risk range, still at a high volatility level. If you had other reasons to be very bullish on the cubes, might be a good chance to buy the dip. It's quite a bit lower than it was. Still don't like the fact that the volatility is so high. Very wide candle there. If you like those doji patterns, then you may be interested to buy here. I'm still waiting for it to turn over a little bit, and with good reason. The volatility is just still too high, still on a negative downtrend. The trend is negative. The momentum is not improving, so we're going to continue to stay out. All right, that's a good looking upturn. Momentum may be shifting. Still not ready to buy just yet. We're still not at that trend level, and it's heading up there. Okay, now the momentum is turning up. The volatility has got out of the dangerous range. I'd be okay with buying here, but just a small position. I don't want to jump in heavy at this point. Continues to turn up. Momentum continues to improve. Looking good here. All right, the trend is finally back bullish and picking up momentum, so you want to stay in at this point. Let's see. Do we want to get more at this end of the? No, I don't like the fact that it's below trend, so I wouldn't be buying any more at this point. No reason to sell either with the volatility still low and the trend about neutral. Notice how the bands are compressing. So that goes right along with the fact that the volatility is low. Let's continue on here. Coming up, maybe positive trend. There we go. That's good to see. Let's see if that trend will continue. It does. There's still no reason to get out. We're very early in the trend. Momentum is still picking up. No reason to bail yet, even though you're at the top of the risk range. You might sell a little bit. It's been on overall a very nice ride up, though. I don't know if I'd be feeding at this point. I think I'd hold on. All right, and as we see, the momentum is still increasing. I still wouldn't be a seller at this point. Okay, now we're starting to see a little bit of an over bought condition. We're seeing it come down a little bit off the top. I probably would feed the ducks a little bit here. I'd sell a little bit, keep most of it. And as we see, just because it's overbought doesn't mean it can't continue, and there still is more up room. I'd stay at this point. Okay, now it's just starting to turn over. We've already sold once, so let's hold on. Let's see if the momentum continues down, in which case we will sell, or if it comes back up. It's coming back up. Let's hold on. It's really starting to look like it's going to stall out. We're about 3/4 up the range. Probably sell a little bit here. And in fact, there we go. The momentum has turned around. We're getting it to come back down. Let's hope it comes back further so we can buy some more. And it's kind of shifting around. The bridge bands are moving up. Momentum is really kind of stalled. It doesn't have a firm direction, and you can see that the width of the bands is decreasing. So not a good. It could break out in either direction. Not a really good place to buy or sell. Going down there. I don't know how much I have in the position at this point, but the trend is going negative. The momentum is negative. I wouldn't be holding much here. So yeah, I'd be at a pretty minimum allocation right now. And with the volatility spiking downward, that was a good call. Let's see, at this point, yeah, I don't want to be buying that dip just yet. The volatility could certainly increase even more, and there's nothing but negative momentum here. So let's stay out right now. Same thing, high volatility. It might be starting to turn around. Volatility is lower, so that's not bad. Let's see, we're in the middle of the risk range. Bullish trend, volatility is low. Might buy a small amount at this point. Good thing was small, but not quite the right call. The volatility is not out of the woods and it's decreasing, so this could definitely go down further. We're still in, let's see, not really comfortable with this direction. I'd probably sell a little bit and wait to get back in later. I think we have just a little bit on, which is fine. And it does continue to drop down as the vol increases again and again. If you were using stop losses, this might be a good point to bail, especially as this trend is being broken. The momentum is picking up here. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to be holding any at this point. Okay, now the vol's starting to come back in. The momentum is starting to increase. Still a little bit shaky. Probably wait a day on this. Still bouncing around, doesn't know where to go. It went down but popped back up, so that's good in terms of momentum. Toward the low end of the risk range. Probably the volatility is high though. I'm gonna wait. Oh, and there we go. Nice pop up. That's all right. Momentum is increasing. The trend is still negative short term, but it is increasing. Still not liking that so much. I'll wait a little bit. Okay, now the trend is finally starting to come up, but we're at the top end of the risk range. This is not a time where you want to be buying. Going sideways here, not much momentum, and that's the current day. So that's how you would use the combination of the matrix price action, the volatility, and the bridge bands. I think overall between January and present time in May, we were able to keep in for most of the nice uptrends. We're able to get out with these warning signs down here, so that was nice. We missed most of that. Here we're getting back in, caught a nice run up, and then here at some point we started to get out as well. So overall, that was very helpful, and I hope that you like the indicators. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the forum. If you like these videos, let me know, and consider making some more. Thanks.